Okay, sorry guys, just had to get the last couple messages out to let everyone know we're here. So we missed Tuesday, so I'm not going to make this a brokerage training. I'm going to make this an activity training. I want to show you guys exactly how the form is filled out and exactly how the research is done to fill out the form. So not app, well, we'll need app.bachelite, so that's fine. App.go high level. Google.com, fine. So we're just going to take Grow 108 Grove Street, Wilkes-Barre, PA, which happens to be one of my first properties that I ever bought. And guys, please, if you have not logged into Go High Level, call me. Let's get you set up. If you haven't set up your account, I know it's been sent out to you. Call me. We have to get you set up on this. And you know what? We'll actually change the game. We'll use 314 Orchard Place. This is an actual deal. So there's no reason to use a fake deal. So we are Googling, and we're also doing Google Street View and Google Maps, which is slightly redundant, but not entirely redundant. So I like to get these opened first. So they're sitting here and waiting for the address. And I will eventually have these put in as drop downs on the, everything is REI homepage. There's drop downs on the resources menu. But what we're doing is we're getting in line because on the form, hello form, hello computer, and you guys have this link in the spreadsheet. And remember, I'll do that too. We'll take a step back and look at it in the spreadsheet so you all can see where it is in the spreadsheet. You guys need to bookmark these and have them ready. This isn't really my step of the job, so I'm training it. So Gorilla H4H Toolkit, whatever. So the links, this spreadsheet here has the form in it. Actually, apparently it doesn't. So let me put the form in it. That's probably the problem I should do. Okay. This is why I'm always checking the spreadsheet, to make sure the spreadsheet has the forms. So the primary form you need for today, we don't need this for today, by the way. This is not the form we're using today. We're not using the seller form intake, but I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to put it in the sheet so we have it. This is the and then the seller form. The living hell just happened. Wholesaler, seller form, team form, or self-storage team form. Two forms. Either way, you won't play it. Well, not how you want to play it. It's how the property is. But if you guys express interest in self-storage, we'll convert this to Now I'm just going to grab the self-storage team form while we're here, just because we're here. All right, so we're both opening the form link and I'm putting the form link, except I just did this as a self-storage form, didn't I? Yeah, so we don't need to open that form link. Sorry, a little bit of all right, and then we're going to open the wholesale seller team basic form. So what you want open is you want batch leads open. You want to know your address. You want you don't need, well, you can do this all within CRM. You don't need to, but I'll show this in a second why this is open. And you want we don't need this window here. Wholesale seller basic team. So Alex, Will, pretend it's both of you, whatever. Property type, drop down. What is it? Other seller, any other sellers, seller email. Seller one name, seller fake. Fill in all of this stuff as much as you, okay, so not all of it. Let me be clear. Whatever you have of it. When do you need the money? What did they tell you? Doesn't have to be an exact date. Actually, you'll probably switch to a drop down of urgent, not urgent. Property nickname, nickname it if you want. Great. Superman assigned. Don't worry about that. I'll take care of that later. Form fill date. Let us know what day you filled it in. Property address. Boom. County chooser, if you know it. How many units? Why are you looking to sell the property? As much description as they give you or you gleaned from it. What's the current mortgage? Are you open to seller financing? You guys probably won't get to that part of the conversation. Don't go near seller financing unless one of us is with you because it's a complicated thing. Do you live there? No. Ask price, $65,000. Somebody just beeped their way in here. Alex, buddy, I'm making this video for you. Although I just realized sharing the screen, so I'm going to share the screen and start over. So good timing because I wasn't sharing the screen. All right. So you want to open whenever you're doing a lead, an opportunity, a property. Always remember the spreadsheet that I sent out has the links on it to the forms. So you should be really easy for you to get to the forms. Has links on it for lots of things, but especially the forms. And we'll make all that bold too. Maybe make it bigger if I can. So the first thing you open, or it doesn't matter what order, you open batch leads. You have your property, you know your property. You have open the seller, wholesale seller basic team form. If you're doing self-storage, it's another form. The forms are slightly different, but if you use the regular form for self-storage, that's no real problem. If you use the self-storage form for non-self-storage, that's a bit of a problem because Ryan won't get to see it. You will also want to open a CRM. If anybody here has not gotten with us, and make sure you got your login activated for the CRM and you know how to use it, do that separately. You want a Google window open. You don't need this window. This window is the spreadsheet. I opened it earlier for convenience. We don't need that one. This is Google Street View. And this is Google. And this is Google Maps. These are the most important right now. So you're going through the form. You belong up here. And this is not a very, this form is not in the order you would expect. I need to work on the order, but it's a pain in the ass, so I'm living with it for now. You answer what kind of property type it is. Other seller, any other sellers, one seller, multiple sellers. These are questions you've asked them or could ask them. What's their email? Fake stage intake, doesn't matter. That one doesn't matter. Deal type. This is the only thing that matters. Is it PA MLS listed? Is it a wholesale of a 1 to 4 unit or not? Again, I fill that in later. You don't have to do it. All the seller information is important. When do you need the money? If they have an exact date, great. Property nickname, you can make one up. Superman, skip it. Doesn't really matter yet, but it will eventually matter. I'll start inserting them. Form fill date, property address, county chooser, if you know it. How many units? Why are you trying to sell the property? Describe the property. What's the gist of what they gave you? Current mortgage, if you know it. Is seller financing an option? You are not experienced enough to have a seller financing conversation. So the only time you're filling this in is if they say, I want to do seller financing. Other than that, leave that question to the side. That is a very complicated rabbit hole that has lots of nuances and just, it's here as a question. It's not here as a needed answer. None of these are required. Do you live there? Ask price, repair estimate. This is what you're doing after you've looked at the pictures and you use our repair estimate calculator and you plug it in, or maybe you have the experience. Like I can pretty much estimate. I took one look at this property. It was $100,000 rehab. I could just tell. Submission date, do it if you want. That's great. Team assigned. Click off the I accept the terms and conditions. I need to remove that field, but I just haven't yet. Are there tenants or income? Yes, no. Are there income numbers, legal management? What are your expenses? So this is where we're talking about if it's a multi-unit, if it's a rental of any kind, is it MLS listed? Remember, if it's listed, our conversation ends with the owner. We can't go any further. We tell the owner, you know what, it's listed. Thank you very much. We will keep you in our system. If you decide to cancel your listing, let us know. You still let me know about the property in case I want it or we know somebody who wants it. But if it's listed by a broker, we can only talk to the broker. Is it advertised? This is Zillow, Facebook, Google, chat, anywhere. Craigslist, that's what I was trying to think of. Boom. And this is where it gets fun. What's the era of the bathroom? Whether this is from your pictures or, hey, when were the bathrooms renovated? Well, not too long ago, my kids were little. Okay, how old are your kids now? 60. Okay, well then, older, whatever. Follow-up notes. Kitchen era, same thing. A lot of times an easy question for this is, and you're not doing the form while you're talking to them, because these questions are not in a natural format. But this is how you're going through the questions with the seller. I just renovated my kitchen. It wasn't that long ago. It looks pretty good. Well, who was president? Reagan. Okay, well, before 1990, definitely. Cosmetics era, same kind of thing. Furnace age. Boom, got some drop downs here. Roof age, drop down. The reason these are drop downs, by the way, is because this will eventually feed into the rehab calculator, so we can predict how much the rehabs will be, and you won't have to do as much work on that end of it. Water source, well, sewer. Hopefully you're not getting your well from the sewer. That's a misprint. Should be well public. Not sewer public, but well public. We take a note of that. Let's look at the main editor open. I'm just, because that's kind of silly, I'm going to open that real quick and just change that one, because that should not be that should not be that answer. Sites, forms, builder. This you'll never have to worry about, but that's a stupid answer. That's just about it. Water source. Thing. Hello. There we go. And wastewater came up with what? Public sewer on second acre. All right, so obviously you see something silly, let me know. How many units? Again, some of these questions come up more than once. It's kind of weird how we created it. What works and what doesn't? Heats, lights, plumbing, blah, 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 blah. What systems are on or not on? And this maybe should be a checkbox versus a drop down. So while we're got that other window open, let me see if I can change that to a checkbox or a drop down. So is there a chance to change the type on that one? No, all right. So anyway, answer that to the best of your ability. I'm not going to mess around with that. I'll let the developer mess around with that. Is there a mortgage? Yes, no, remaining mortgage. We already answered that question. It's not a trick. It's in there twice by mistake. Just roll with it. Of the decision makers, is an estate timeline to sell? These are all the questions that should be in your question sheet. If they're not, let me know. We'll adjust your question sheet. Now the ones you're here for. Google link. I know this one's tough. You've Googled the address. This is your Google link. Boom. Boom. Zillow link. Shockingly enough, is part of the Google link. That wasn't supposed to happen, although it actually worked out anyway because it opened up Zillow. But here's my Zillow link. I just I click on it and I read it because you want to read it anyway. And I take it and I paste it in. Now, while we're here on the Google link, on the Zillow link, it's going to give you his estimate. We don't give a flying what this estimate says because estimates are stupid. It puts you within like 50% of the actual price, but really in this case doesn't. And here's why. Because Zillow can't look at these pictures and know this thing's a boarded up piece of crap. But it will tell you, you search, the main thing I do here is I search for the word listed. It's not currently listed for sale. It was back in 2020, it's not now. So we know it's not listed. Now, just for and giggles, we pop behind it. And we draw a little circle here. And this is along with batch leads. You can do this also. You draw a little circle around the property. I happen to know this is roughly what a property is. Sold up to 300K, 3-bed, home type, whatever. We apply the circle. And these drop downs are not whatever. I did these yesterday for this property, so I know they match. And now I'm seeing 229, 299, 299, 297. Now what's weird is yesterday it came up with actually the property a little more over here. Just I do the circle on. Okay, so then you can take this and now you PDF this and you upload this as a file. Or you just make note of where the numbers are falling. Because this is part of your determining what the ARV is. Google Maps. So now here we are. Google Maps and Google Street View. Okay, so Street View is obviously this one. It's the one where you're viewing it from the street. And this is also a good opportunity to see what kind of neighborhood we're dealing with. So here's the house. You can do a snapshot while you're here. If you're on Windows, it's Windows, Shift S. You can build a box. And you can save the file down to your hard drive and you can then upload it later. So we have a picture of it. Cool, fine. But this is the Google Street View link. So Google Street View. Boom. Google Maps. Okay. Here's my Google Maps link. ARV. Now we've done ARV in batch leads. We put the property in, we've clicked it. We've looked at what it is. We've collected some information on it. We've come to comparables. We only care about solds. We don't care about anything else. We prefer last 6 months. Last 12 months is a long time nowadays in real estate. Bedrooms, bathrooms, fill these variables in. Hit filter. You want to. The other important variable, very important, is located within 1 mile. I don't like mileage. No more than a half mile. Half mile, 6 months. Half a year, half a mile. Boom. And here we are. When you're looking for what's closest, you can filter 0.37, 0.19. Okay, 0.19, a 4.2, a 1568 sold for 185. 0.37, a 3.1, a 2207 sold for 305. And you can look at the pictures of these and say, we're looking for two things: what's finished and what's similar. Now, what's similar, that's a crap hole. I'm not even looking at what's similar. I'm looking at what's finished. 305, 185, somewhere in here, there's a 240. I know I saw it yesterday. 245, there it is. Third of a mile away, almost the same damn square footage, almost the same damn lot size. They don't give us any pictures, so. But okay, so you've now narrowed yourself down to 200 to 300 is your sale price. 245 is probably your sale price. And you're going to go 40th percentile in that range anyway, which is going to put you around 240. 200, 300, 40th percentile, a little bit below half, 40% of the curve. 300 is 100%, you go to 40. Fine. And you're also taking a look at your Zillow, at what's behind you on your Zillow, and seeing if that all makes sense. And when you can find one of your comps here, you click it open and see, okay, 270 bought me. Oh, wow, okay. Somebody did everything. They did the windows, they did everything. Beautiful house. So then I'm back here and I'm able to say on my ARV, 230 to 245, whatever. Why do you think this ARV? Zillow told me this. See PDF. Batch told me this. This is if there's a Google Drive for the pictures. If they send you pictures, they text you pictures, you upload them to a Google Drive or something, you put them somewhere so we can all see them, and you put the link here. Estimated rehab. Well, if you saw the pictures to this, you would know it needs a lot of stuff. We will help you with rehab. If you don't know it, it's fine. This house, I know, 100 grand. Why rehab is roof, drywall, blah, 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 blah. Upload a video, current website URL, if it has one, your Zillow, your PropStream, your Google Street. Here's Google Street, just in the wrong order. Flood zone. All right, this is one I forgot. So we go to REI homepage, which this is in the wrong place in resources. It's going to get moved over to this main drop. My guy messed up, and I'm just behind telling him that. So then I put in O'Hara Town Hub. Okay, obviously my search, I didn't spell something right. Oh, 314 Orchard. Okay, that's why. And by the way, place and drive and stuff do matter. Okay, because in Pittsburgh, there's a Orchard Place and Orchard Drive, which are totally unlike each other in every way, including values. So now, here's our house. And you let this settle in a bit. It's sometimes slow. And you'll see the cool colors. And I think I covered these before. So there's no cool colors around here. So it's not in his flood zone. There's no all these different things that tell you different kinds of flood zones. It's not in one of them. So you could simply say no flood zone. Now the ones you want to watch out for, stripies, but primarily light blue. Light blue is bad. You will see this says zone AE. It's striped because it's a river or some body of water. And this is zone AE. Anything is alarming. A is for alarming. So, no, not close to a zone either. The reason I add that message, not close to a zone, is because if you look, I'm not going to find it now, but all right, this is one here. If this was our subject property, it's close to an A zone. So you don't quite know where the property line is. The property line here. Because once your property touches an A zone, your whole property, your whole building is an A zone. So that's why you're making a notation. Now you see this tan color is 0.2%. So you want to make a note of that. You want to make a note of whatever zone it's in. But if it has an A, that's alarming. Okay, so move on. Image upload, file upload, addressing, which I know kind of asked it up again, just go with it. This is asking it in a more of a different, this is asking for city, state, county, postal code, zip, whatever. Boom. So now you've submitted it. So you've done your research on the property. You may not know all these answers. That's fine. Give as much as you can. Get the pictures into a drive or something that she sends you, that the seller sends you, and upload. Remember, owner is what matters. Seller, wholesaler, less motivated. Way much so less motivated. All right, so we've done that part. Now we're in the CRM. I'm just going to, wait, cancel. I didn't save form. Let me save form. Back out. Okay. Now, in the CRM, when you log in the opportunity section, here it is. And this is where you're going to go back to ask more, to fill in more information as things come up. Okay, and I'll have a whole different training on that, on how to do it in here where you actually get in. And what you're going to do, you're going to open the actual opportunity itself. And it's going to pop up like this. And this is where all of your answers and questions are. And this is where you can change all of your answers and questions. And there's more stuff in here too. And most importantly, this is where every note everything you do, every note you take, every breath you make, whatever that song is for, you're coming over here to notes. This is where you can add, and this is what I did. Today I did this on the property. There you go. Tasks. If you're assigning tasks to us or we're assigning them to you or whatever, this is where appointments are made. This is where documents are uploaded. So when documents are created, they're signed, they're whatever, they're going to come in and you're going to come into, so they're going to come in, they're going to be attached to the person. So they're going to be attached to the seller or the buyer. You're going to download them, leave them in there with the seller and buyer, and you're going to add them here so that every document that involves a property is in here. Is payment stuff, associations, tasks, activity. So literally everything involved in this property is here, and that's the whole point. So when you fill out the form and you say, hey guys, you fill out the form, you send me a text message, just fill out form for this property, this address, whatever. But give me this address, give me the seller name, give me your name, just I know who you are, but whatever. So then when I go in here, when I go back to opportunities, I know what I'm looking for. And then we'll kind of go from there. And then we'll set up a time and we'll talk and we'll go over the pictures. So as much as you can put in. If they give you pictures, great. If they don't, okay, fine. That's the point for the form, is that it's no longer, oh, I sent you a text yesterday about this property, and here are the pictures today for this property, and I emailed the seller's information, and I sent Ryan this other stuff, and we're playing a game of reverse Jenga, trying to assemble from a pile of junk. It's the way we were. It's not the way we are anymore. This is here. So, questions? Anybody? All right. So that's what I've got for today. Now, just FYI, on the Tuesday training, I'll may do. So the snow is where the question is. The snow is where the question falls. I'm going to Connecticut this weekend. It's supposed to be just a Saturday night overnight. If the snow comes in the way it's expected to, I'm not making it back. But that's okay. I like Connecticut. Just, you know, if I'm heading back, I mean, I'm still available, obviously. I have my laptops and everything, so I don't feel like you can't reach out to me. That's fine. But I will keep in touch if I can't do the Tuesday training. I'll probably, if I think I'm staying over. The trick is going to be if I'm staying over Monday night because of the snow. I'll do the train. I'll know that in advance, and I'll do the training on Monday rather than on Tuesday morning because I'll be driving on Tuesday morning. So other than that, give me a shout if you have any questions. Alex, I know you're entering that deal. When you get it in, let me know, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.